Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. For those of you who may be attending one of our programs for the first time, I'd like to explain exactly what you're about to witness. Over the years, I've had the privilege of working with historians, educators, filmmakers, authors, and a few people who are probably none of those things. But tonight, I'd like to introduce my oldest and quite possibly my most unusual colleague. Some psychologists insist he doesn't actually exist. Others maintain he's merely a figment of my imagination. Personally, I find those accusations both hurtful and remarkably well documented. Nevertheless, Professor Percival P. Quibble has been my trusted virtual colleague for many years. He has advised governments that never requested his advice. He has lectured at universities that later denied he had ever been there. He has written dozens of books, none of which have ever troubled the bestseller list. His academic credentials are, by any objective standard, extraordinary. He holds 17 honorary doctorates from institutions of highly questionable existence. He is the founder and sole lifetime president of the Institute for Advanced Speculation. He served as distinguished professor of theoretical common sense until the department unanimously agreed there was no such thing. He has received countless awards, several of which he created himself. Most importantly, he is universally recognized, primarily by himself, as the world's foremost pseudo-intellectual. Now, Professor Quibble has devoted the better part of 6 decades to studying subjects he doesn't entirely understand and explaining them to audiences who were perfectly happy before he started. This evening, he has graciously agreed to share his latest research on one of the most important topics of our time, artificial intelligence. Whether he understands it is frankly beside the point. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming my virtual colleague, Professor Percival P. Quibble. Here he is with his discourse entitled Artificial Intelligence, Why We Shouldn't Panic Until the Toasters Start Holding Meetings.
Artificial intelligence. A fascinating subject. Although before discussing artificial intelligence, one must first understand intelligence. And before intelligence, one must understand artificiality. Now, artificiality comes from the Latin word artificialis, or perhaps it doesn't. Latin has become remarkably difficult to verify now that most Romans have stopped answering their mail. People ask me whether artificial intelligence is dangerous. That depends entirely upon the intelligence. Take my Uncle Stanley, perfectly natural, not a trace of artificial intelligence. Yet we never let him carve the Thanksgiving turkey after 1963. Technology wasn't responsible. Geometry was. People assume machines are becoming smarter. Nonsense. They're becoming faster. There's an enormous